Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another video in the world of Corvette news. It's your main man, Really Rails. Today we have a very exciting yet interesting yet controversial topic to talk about, and that's the hardtop convertible versus the coupe. We're going to go over the pros for the hardtop convertible, which may be cons for the coupe, and then we're going to go over the pros for the coupe, which may be cons for the hardtop convertible. And before we get started, I definitely have to give a shout out to GM Authority for some of the videos and pictures that you will see in referencing to the different elements of the hardtop convertible and the coupe in this video. Now let's get to it. We're going to start off with the hardtop convertible. And the first pro of the hardtop convertible is the ability to put the top down from the remote as well as in the interior of the car. From the remote, as simple as hitting two buttons. Well, hitting one button and holding the other button. So you'll hit the unlock button and you will hold down the top down button. So that's, pretty, easy. Like if you're coming out of the house or you're coming out of work and you just want to, if it's in the summertime and you want to let the heat out, you can just, take the top down on the way to the car. It's a done deal. Also, there's a way once you're inside the car to let the top down. And that's, simply as making sure the car is on. And of course, for safety precautions, you want to make sure that the emergency brake is on and so forth and so on. And then you're just gonna, hit the button over there on the driver's side door. It's gonna drop the top and you'll get a little chime, once the top is all the way down. And that's gonna put that into the simplicity of things when it comes to the hardtop convertible versus the coupe. It's a lot easier, a lot quicker to put the top down in the hardtop convertible than it is the coupe. The second pro for the hardtop convertible kind of ties into the first pro. You can actually put the top down at speeds up to 30 miles an hour. So if you're out, the weather's looking kind of unfavorable, you don't have to pull over, stop, get out, and do all of that stuff like you will with the coupe, with the hardtop convertible. As long as you're under 30 miles per hour, you can just put the top down and get back on up to speed. My brother, he has the hardtop convertible, and I've seen him do it, either slowing down at a light or wherever you may be, just under 30 miles an hour, and you can put the top up or down. I think that's the only one that gets me jealous, being I have a coupe. Next up, we're going to talk about the nacelles on the hardtop convertible. Now, they have some amazing lines that go into the overall body of the car, in my opinion. With the top up, the nacelles look good, and with the top down, they look even better because it kind of puts you really into that Ferrari type McLaren feel, just looking at the nacelles. And just to see how all of that works with the nacelles and the movement of those with the top going up and down is definitely something to see if you haven't seen it already. So if you get the chance to check out, someone with the hardtop convertible, just watch how all the mechanics work in it, and going up and down. It's just pretty dope to see. Up next, we're gonna talk about that small glass window in between the rear of the car and the interior of the car. And what's cool about this window is that you can put this window up or down regardless if the top is up or down. So if you got the top up and you want to hear your MPP exhaust a little bit more, or your aftermarket exhaust a little bit more, you could just drop the window down simply as hitting a button, and that small rear window will go down, or you can put it up, and I'm pretty sure, it lets in, it probably helps with the circulation of the air and stuff through the car. So that's a pretty dope feature to have. I don't know if it would be nice if the coupe had it. I don't think it would make any sense because you just got engine back there and it's not directly to the outside. So that's another thumbs up for the hardtop convertible, in my opinion. You got that window that you can just put up and put down at any given moment. And the last pro that we're going to talk about, in my opinion, for the hardtop convertible is when the top's down, you still have all of your trunk space. Space in these cars are somewhat hard to come by. Granted, you have the front as well as the rear trunk, but with the hardtop convertible, you still have all that space, whether the top is up or it's down. So you're not gonna lose any trunk space in the rear once you put the top down. So that's maybe a small plus, but I think it's worthy enough to be talked about. Okay, now we're going on to the cons, in my opinion, for the hardtop convertible. And first up it's gonna be the main reason, well, one of the main reasons why I didn't go with the hardtop convertible is it's gonna cost about an extra $7,500 to get the hardtop convertible option. Now, to some, money may not be an object and there may be no budget, and you're just like, I want to have that option. So kudos to everybody that went with the hardtop convertible, but an extra $7,500. It kind of tied into another reason why I didn't go that route, and I'll let you know here shortly. But you know, $7,500 is nothing to sneeze at. You know, when especially when you're up there around the $70,000 and $80,000, even $90 for this car. So it's going to cost you an extra $7,500 to get that hard top convertible option. The next con is gonna be one of the main two reasons why I went with the coupe instead of the hard top convertible, and that's because you can't see the engine. I think being able to see the engine was one of my main things about the C8 that I really loved once I first saw him debut it back in April of 2019. You know, just being able to see that mid-engine, the mechanics and the workings, and it's a big thing at like car shows and stuff like that. So you're unable to see the engine. Now with the hardtop convertible, for I guess maintenance reasons, you can just hold the button on the key fob and it'll lift that back hatch up, but you got to do a little bit more work to get down to actually see the actual engine. So you're gonna lose out on that when it comes to the hardtop convertible, the ability to just stand on the outside and see the engine sitting there in the car, mid-engine sitting in the car. Next up, we're going to talk about there have been some mechanical issues with the gears and the inner workings of the hardtop convertible. I've seen them over several forums. Now, I'm not saying it's a widespread problem or anything like that, but I've just seen people talking about it. Their top gets stuck up, or it gets stuck down, or halfway, or it's not sealing all the way once it's closed. So just maybe it's a small section of people, but those were things that I was looking at, in making my decision as well. And once I seen it maybe 2 or 3 times, I was like, you know what? I kind of don't want to, take the chance of that happening. So that steered me in the other direction towards the coupe. But, there are some people that had mechanical issues. Now, my brother hasn't had any mechanical issues with his at all, and cross my fingers, he never does. So those are things that I just, I thought about, and I was like, I don't want to, just have that chance of it happening. So that was another thing that steered me, like I said, in the other direction towards the coupe. And speaking of tops, when it comes to this next con for the hardtop convertible, you don't have the options like the coupe does. You have you can get it painted black or carbon flash rather, to match the other accents of the car. But there are other options with the coupe, which I'm going to get into when we talk about the coupe. So make sure you hang in there with me, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But there are other options that you can get with the coupe to change up the aspect of the top on there. And last but not least, the hardtop convertible actually weighs 102 more pounds than the coupe. Now, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? No, it doesn't. But if you're talking about being a type that wants to be on the track and the drag strip, I'm talking about the road course and the drag strip, and weight is a major thing. It's all about shedding weight when it comes to improving your numbers and improving your times and stuff like that. So if you're really thinking about doing the track type and you get the Z51 package with it, that 102 pounds could make a difference in your time in the grand scheme of things, depending on what you're doing, what you're trying to obtain, and so forth and so on. So for those of you that didn't know, the hardtop convertible weighs 102 more pounds than the coupe. All right, now it's time to jump into the C8 Corvette Coupe. We're gonna talk about the pros and the cons, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna just give you my overall personal opinion. Even though I do have a coupe, I'm not gonna be biased towards it. So the first pro of the coupe doesn't cost you any extra. You don't have to worry about the $7,500, addition to the total price of your car. Just no extra. It's come standard, you know. So that was another major thing when I thought about it. I was like, no extra charge, $7,500. I'm gonna go with the no extra charge. You know, it just made more sense for me financially and what my budget was for obtaining this car. And next, you have the ability to see the engine bay. And a lot goes into the ability to see the engine bay. We're gonna talk about that coming right up too. You know, just being able to see it back there, you know, it's just, you know, even when you're in the car, you can turn around and you can look back there and you can see the engine back there. You know, when you're at car shows and cars and coffees in your local areas, you can, you know, people love just to be able to see an engine, you know, sitting in its natural habitat, doing what it does, you know. So it's an amazing thing that I love about the coupe, is being able to see that engine back there. And this third pro goes into that. You have the ability to add engine appearance packages to your coupe. You know, you can get the different color engine covers, whether it be torch red, rapid blue, celery yellow, whatever color the car is, you can get it. You can get edge red, which, you know, I think edge red is a better color in my opinion when it goes with that. Now you also can you get the carbon fiber covers that go over the braces in the back, and you get 2 lights. Now this is the GM engine appearance package. You get 2 lights put it at the top, so you know when you open it up, you know you can have light shining down on the carbon fiber. So the engine appearance package doesn't come with the engine cover. That's also sold separately. The engine appearance package just comes with the carbon fiber and the 2 lights. Now I went a different direction with mine. I went and got aftermarket lights put in the exact same place, but they're RGB lights, so I had the ability to change the color of, you know, from red to blue, green, yellow, whatever I want it to be, or if I just want white, like, you know. So and that's what I typically ride with the white on, because, you know, really don't want too much trouble, you know. So I have the ability to customize the light that shines down in there. I haven't went with any covers yet. I'm still looking. If you have any recommendations for any companies to get you know, different types of engine covers, strut mount covers, and all that stuff, make sure you drop them in the comments below, because I definitely like to check them out. And next up, this one may not be a pro to some, but to me, I can take the top off in about 30 seconds. I actually did a video where I timed myself and taking the top off. I wasn't rushing and running or anything like that. You know, I just, got in there. I released the 2 latches under the visors. I hit the 3rd latch in the back, you know, got out of the car, opened the back hatch, lifted it up, took the top off, set it in the back, locked it in, and then closed the hatch, and I was done. It was just about 30 seconds. So it's not like it's a big ordeal and you have to have 2 people to take this top off. Now, the top is light in my opinion, but it may not be light to everyone. My arm is a little bit longer. I'm like 6'1", so I have a decent wingspan, so I can actually do it by myself. So if you may be a shorter person, or your arms aren't as long, you may need assistance in taking the top off. But for me, I was able to do it. I'm able to do it seamlessly by myself, throw it in the back, and the same goes when I'm putting the top back on there. You know, I just take it out, put it on top, latch it down, 3 latches, and I'm good to go. So the time wasn't a big concern to me, but to be able to take that top off in about 30 seconds, and it's extremely light for me, that was definitely a pro in my decision. And my final pro for the coupe is you have different color top options, or different types of top options rather. You can go with a carbon fiber. Well, actually first you can go with the body color, which I have, or you can go with the carbon fiber, or you can go with the translucent roof. So it's clear, it has like a bluish tint to it. So, you know, a lot of people that have that say they get the feeling of openness when they put that translucent top on, and it has a nice blue tint to it. I'm not sure how it does in extreme heat. If you do have this top, or have had one on a prior version of the Corvette, let me know how it did as far as in real hot temperatures, if it made the interior a little bit more warmer. Maybe if you park the car or anything like that. Let me know about that in the comments below as well. But you know, you have those options with the coupe, so you may want a body color top and you may want a carbon fiber top, so you can switch it up, or you may want any of the combination of the 3. You have the ability to do that with the Corvette Coupe, and there is no roof, no translucent roof for the hardtop convertible, or you know, you're not going to get a carbon fiber hardtop. So that was a pro for me, in my opinion. So later on down the road, I might decide, hey, I want to get the translucent roof, and I'm good to go. All right, now I told you I wasn't going to be biased, so I had to come up with some cons for the Corvette Coupe, the C8 Coupe, which I have, you know. So I'm gonna give it to you straight to it, and you know, it simply is what it is. The first con for the coupe is that yes, you have to manually take the top off and manually put the top back on. I thought about one day, and I think it might be good for you guys to see, me and my brother, we should get together and actually do a comparison, you know, side by side, see which one gets done first between the hardtop convertible and the coupe. You know, like I said, his is the push of a button, and me just, you know, manual. You know, it is what it is. Not bad for me, but it may not be what some people want to do, and I definitely respect what their choices is in getting a hardtop convertible or the coupe, you know. So I think if you guys want to see that video, let me know down in the comments below as well, and I'll get with my brother and we'll make sure we bring that content to you guys. But having to manually do it, it is what it is. Maybe a bigger con for others than some, but you know, just got to get out there and do it if you want the coupe. And the second con for the C8 Coupe is you can't do it on the go. So if you're out riding and by chance it just starts to rain out of nowhere, you're gonna get wet until you can pull over safely in a safe location and get out and, you know, put the top back on. With the hardtop convertible, under 30 miles an hour, push of a button and it's going back up. So you have to actually be able to pull over, and I really recommend you getting off of an exit and not doing it on the side of a road, just for safety precautions. We don't want anybody, you know, to be out there and get hit or anything like that. And just real quick note, guys, if you have the coupe, make sure all 3 latches are latched. Make sure that it's sealed. I've seen stories of people maybe latching 2 or forgetting to latch any, and they get going down the road and they become a part of the flying top family. And we don't want to be a part of that family. So make sure you always secure it in. But you can't do it on the go with the coupe. You know, you actually have to stop, get out and do it. That was, you know, there's nothing you can do about that. Just, you know, it's just like, man, I so wish they had a hardtop convertible where you could, you know, see the engine, and wasn't that expensive, but hey, they're in the business of making money, so I totally understand that. Now, the third con of the coupe is you don't have that small window that you can roll down to access the outside, you know, because if that window in the back went down, it'd be engine heat coming into the inside of the car, and we don't want that. You know, you don't want the engine heat, and it would be more engine noise, and it's pretty quiet right now. So you don't have that option. That's another plus, as I spoke earlier about the hardtop convertible. But you know, with the coupe, just don't have that option. So that's, you know, a con in my books. Next up, you don't feel as open in the coupe as you do the hardtop convertible, because when the targa top is off of the coupe, you just have that center area that's off. And you know, when the hardtop convertible is down, you got that, and you got then some. The only thing you got behind you is the nacelles, and that middle area is open once you put the window down. So it's a more openness look and feel inside of the hardtop convertible. I definitely noticed a difference when I got the chance to, you know, drive my brothers around the parking lot on the day I took delivery of mine. We're just, you know, out there messing around, and he let me, you know, spin around the parking lot in it. And there's a feeling of more openness. So it's not as open in the coupe. I'm not sure how they could, you know, do anything different to make it feel more open, but I'll say this. It's open enough for me. I feel it feels amazing when the targa top is off, and you know, it's almost like, you know, I used to ride motorcycles, and it's almost like that feeling, because you know, you can see a lot of things that you normally can't see in a car that doesn't have a targa top or that's not a convertible. So not as open as a convertible, but I still love the feeling I get when I take the top off. And the last con for the coupe, in my opinion, is going to be the fact that you're gonna lose your trunk space once you take that top off and put it in the trunk. Now, I know some people that will take the top off and leave it at the house, you know, and they still got their trunk space. But if you're already out and you decide to take the top off and you put it back there, you're gonna lose your trunk space. So you'll just have the front in the front. I really don't know too many people that go like full on grocery shopping in these cars. Like I'll go and get, you know, 3 or 4 bags of groceries with it. So it's not that bad. I can put all of that in the front and I'm good, whether the top is off or not, you know. But it's just something to think about, you know, if you're out and you take the top off or you don't want to leave it at home, which I don't really recommend leaving it at home just in case the weather doesn't cooperate. You're gonna lose that trunk space in the rear. You may be able to put something small behind the top, but you're not really gonna be able to put something in there that's gonna take up a decent amount of space, like a book bag and all that, because it's probably not gonna latch in securely. And you wanna make sure when you put that top in the back that you make sure it locks in and latches in so it doesn't be fumbling around back there. So, you know, that's the only thing. You're going to lose that space. Granted, you're going to lose space in the front, but you're going to lose what you have in the rear trunk. So guys, those were my pros and cons for each, the hardtop convertible C8 as well as the coupe. Now, you can take it and do what you wish with the information if you're still in deciding factor on which one you want. Hopefully, I was definitely able to shed some light on some things that you may like or some things you may not like about each. And my overall opinion about it, hardtop convertible versus the coupe, who wins? Well, I think they both win. And that's just not me giving a blanket statement. I think they both have some amazing pros and some, you know, not so heavy cons. You know, like the cons aren't gonna say, oh, that's a horrible car or anything like that. You know, so I think you win both ways. It just all depends on what's going to service you better. If you don't want to do any manual taking off of the top, or you want to see an engine bay in the coupe, you know, it's personal preference. So I don't think you could lose either way with the hardtop convertible or the coupe. I think GM did an amazing job on both platforms. Well guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you found any valuable information, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, and also turn your post notifications to all so you don't miss any content, any Corvette news, any C8 information that I have to deliver. If there's any specific video that you would like for me to do, make sure you drop it down in the comments below. I'd be happy to do it. So until next video, it's your main man, Really Rails, and I'll see you later.